Legend of Dungeon is a randomly generated action RPG beat-em-up from indie developer Robot Loves Kitty that brings 8-bit dungeon crawlers to virtual reality. This might not sound appealing on paper, but once you start to play it, the retro art style and the developer's sense of humour shine through and make this a uniquely enjoyable experience. Legend of Dungeon has no storyline as such. You play as a generic adventurer who has to battle their way through 26 floors of randomised mayhem to retrieve the treasure. You descend down through the dungeon, gaining experience points as you kill monsters. The further you go, the stronger the enemies will become, and button mashing your way through the dungeon cells will not get you very far, as different weapons will have different damage effects on the wide range of monsters and ghosts you encounter. As you play, you will collect hats that act as armour or useful items in the game. Different hats protect against different types of monsters, and some hats, such as the miner's hat, will light up dark areas that you need to pass through. As the dungeons are generated randomly, so are the enemies, and you can come across an extremely wide range of ghosts, goblins, wizards, and even devils. It's been a real surprise this past couple of weeks with all the third-person VR experiences coming out at how enjoyable they really are. When playing Legend of Dungeon in the Rift, you really get a sense of the game world as the dungeon sits just a couple of feet in front of you. The game sprites, like your character and the enemies, all look flat on a 3D background where you can move them about in 3D space. The best way I can describe this is like looking at a pop-up book where you have control of the characters involved and can move them freely around the page, either bringing them forward towards you or pushing them back further away from your point of view. Having such a strange view of a normally flat world with thanks to the Rift is highly entertaining, and after playing Legend of Dungeon in this way, I started to think of other games that might benefit from this unique viewpoint, and Fess immediately came to mind with its well implemented 2D 3D level design. Playing Legend of Dungeon in virtual reality is a real eye-opener to me for the possibilities of VR to deliver classic retro-style gaming in a unique way that is more than a gimmicky play the same game on a massive screen. Having flat sprites moving in 3D space inside an interesting game environment is almost magical at times, as watching 8-bit graphics come to life in this way is just how we envisaged them in our minds as children of the 80s when playing our Atari, and Legend of Dungeon certainly brings a smile to our faces with all its retro flair and humour. If you enjoyed this review or any of our previous videos, please remember to hit that subscribe button.